kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome everybody in here to the Moonshiners Racing League. I am Mike Demoni on Sim Racing Media. Joined with me tonight, as always, up in the booth is Matt Metler. Matt, how's it going, man?
Hey, Mike, it's Richmond, baby. We're going to go ahead and invade Moonshine in prime time on this racetrack. Buckle up. It's about to get rowdy as these boys go to war for 250 laps, Mike.
Yeah, definitely. These guys are out in force. This is the Ram Welding and Fabrication 250 from Richmond, set for 250 laps. We got stage breaks at 75 and 150 as they're going through their single lap qualifying. Current points leader, Jane Davis. Let's see, looks like he's sitting down here towards the end here.
Oh, good old 79 time, Shane Davis. Yeah, that's gonna. Yeah, he's your current points leader. You're right, Mike. He's been on quite a roll here as of recent.
Oh, looks like he's getting.
Yes, drivers now starting to roll off here for their hot laps here from Richmond, and it's a hot one out there, Mike. Checking in on the track temp side of things, 101 degrees Fahrenheit on the track side of things. But you wouldn't know it if you were sitting in the stands. Only 68 degrees, proof that looks can be deceiving. Is Kendall Levron filling in for for get this, out of all people, filling in for the driver of the 83 tonight. Has it up there currently on the pole, Mike, at a 22:39.
Yeah, we were sitting there kind of talking about it in practice, and he just ran lights out here. So we'll see if he's able to hold on. Looks like we got 19 guys that have made their qualifying laps. A few guys left on track. Chris Spear finished his second lap working through his cool down here. Darren Mills, 22:89.
Yeah, Darren Mills currently showing right now in that 17th position in the number 2 ZL1 Camaro. Shane Davis, first lap, pumps up to 14th in that 79 ride. Look for him to gain a couple more spots here. Usually he's pretty strong on the short tracks, Mike.
Well, I'm glad you know who to look out for and who to pay attention to on these short tracks here. I mean, we have been here before, or well, we haven't, but the Moonshiners Racing League has been here before, and the man who took home the win last time was Chad Sullivan. Stephen Harry was second, and Barry Sanders was third last time they were here at Richmond.
Yeah, Barry Sanders, the silent assassin. He's one of the long run boys, I like to call him. He usually doesn't fire off that well, but he's good over the course of the long runs. And in my opinion, Mike, overdue for a win. Can Barry Sanders punch his ticket tonight here in Richmond? We're about to find out.
Yeah, we'll see when he gets on track here.
Yeah, still have a good amount of drivers that still have not posted a lap yet. John Binder in the 33, that's typical Hunter Carmichael. Tim Wortman, we know he's not going to be participating tonight. His car currently sits on the pole as Kendall was killing it out there in the practice and qualifying session. Still waiting for the 45, David Balisari, Paul Gilmore, and others to still take to the racetrack.
They got a few more minutes to make their way through this qualifying run here. We'll see who can win that pole award.
Yeah, you're right, Mike. Right now, it's not over till it's over. And most leagues, they give you 5 minutes. But here in the Moonshiners Racing League, you get 10 minutes. So you get double the amount of time so you can play the weather strategy. All those different elements come into it. Keeping an eye on the track side of things here, nothing's really changed. In fact, the ambient air temp up a tick, up to 68 degrees now. 42% water drain. You know what that means, Mike? These cars are going to be making all the power out here on this racing surface.
Yeah, definitely. And it is a little bit slick, but it will cool off, I do believe, as they kind of go through the runs here. But we got Darren Mullins on track here, trying to complete his first lap.
Tell you what, his son Randy Mullins currently had a really nice lap. Currently sits in P2. Mullins out here in full force. Oh, look at that, 5th place. Darren Mullins with a great qualifying effort here as well, is at a 22:48. Everyone inside the top 5, top 10 right now. I mean, Mike, sorry, those times are just stacked on top of each other. That's how close the competition is right now.
And he takes away P2 with a 22:42. So, what? 100th of a second? I mean,
yeah, that is razor thin. Mullins are representing here tonight. I mean, they're starting way up there on the scoring pylon. Excuse me. Everyone's still trying to dethrone the replacement, the sub, Kendall Levron, who currently still owns the provisional pole here with that time of a 22:39.
we'll see if anybody else is going to elect to make a qualifying run. I mean, with 23-second laps, they still have plenty of time to do so, as we are just working through just over 7 minutes right now. They still have a couple minutes left, so we'll see if anybody else makes a qualifying effort. We got John Binder, Brandon cross in. Hunter Carmichael looks like he went out and decided he was not going to make a qualifying run. Justin Belmonte as well went out and made a lap, but looks like he probably lost a little bit of control there, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, currently right now, ladies and gentlemen at home, you can kind of see where everyone's currently sits in qualifying right now on that position bar right there on the ticker. That's going to be on the left of your screen. Is Mike, we're starting to get down to the nit and grit. Only 2 minutes remaining in qualifying. Everyone's still chasing the 83. Couple guys were close. Both Mullenses representing really strong tonight at 22:41 for in the 54 to 22:42. I mean, you're talking like 100th off each other between Darren and Randy. That's really impressive.
Yeah, you're sitting there looking at the top. Well, let's see. We'll go from the top 5 are inside a 1/10 of a second. So it definitely will be close. Barry Sanders Jr. up there in 6th with a 22:52. And that sets up another pretty close group of drivers back behind him as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's Captain Cougar Bait, the HMFIC of the league, Barry Sanders Jr. Mike, if you don't know the backstory on Captain Cougar Bait, don't know if he has that paint scheme on his race car, but he has a Cougar Bait specialty craft beer paint scheme that Tony and I just admire and love. Love that food for thought there. As this qualifying session now gets ready to come down to an end, under 1 minute remaining. Still waiting on Hunter Carmichael, Paul Gillimore, Justin Belmonte, Matt Mackin, and others to put down a hot lap here. Time is starting to run out for him, Mike.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to wait out as long as they can, but time is pretty much run out. As Carmichael's probably going to just finish this lap, and that's going to be the final lap completed here tonight. And he jumps up to P4 with 22:43.
Hunter Carmichael doing Hunter Carmichael things. Always able to put that Chevy usually in really good position here in the qualifying configuration. Doesn't matter what type of racetrack, you can almost bet on Hunter Carmichael to start inside the top 10.
So that will be the field as we get set for the race to grid up here.
There we go. You see your pole sitter. Mike, I've been shocked. I did not see Kendall Levron coming in here and setting quick time, putting everyone on notice. He would have to be. I mean, this is the first I've seen this person in this league, and he goes out there and puts that Ford Mustang on the pole. Talk about putting all the eyeballs on you as far as the competition's concerned.
Yeah, that's definitely, you show up and sub in and you get that pole position. Everybody's going to be gunning for you pretty quickly. And just to his outside, we've got that title sponsor, 64 Chevy of Darren Mullins there with the Ram Welding and Fabrication machine there. You go back to Randy Mullins and Hunter Carmichael, Wayne Bowen, and Aaron Matthews in row 3. Row 4 is Barry Sanders Jr. in that 88 machine, and the 41 Ford of Jordan Schmitz.
Jordan Schmitz.
Schmitz. Well, there we go. Kenny Coppola and Shane Davis round out the top 10. Then we go back to, let's look like Nick King and Kyle Holden in row 6. Row 7, Paul Whitley and Ed Boyles Jr., Bobby Justice and Stephen Gibson in row 8. Row 9, Nicholas Atwood and Chris Spear. Warren Young and Darren Mills round out the top 20. Matt.
The rest of the way through the starting grid this evening from Richmond in 21st, the 16 of Jameson Middlemiss. 22nd, that belongs to the 44 of Caden Nofry. 23rd, the 93 of Ryan Huff. Look for him to come through the front. 24th pulling off here this evening. The 010 machine of David Senti. 25th belongs to the 6 of Justin Belmonte. 25th, the 6 of Justin Belmonte. And then let's see here. I'm having a scoring issue. 26 is John Binder. 28th, as they start to roll now, David Belisari. 29th, Matt Mackin in the 48. And rounding out the 30 starters here tonight in the 005, I believe making his first start in the series, Brandon Crossan. That's the field of 31 drivers who look to take the green flag here this evening.
Yeah, definitely everybody who took part in qualifying and then didn't show up for the race as they get set to make their couple pace laps here. Like I said, this is the Ram Welding and Fabrication 250 from Richmond. We are set for 250 laps. Stage breaks at 75 and 150 as they get set to bring them to the green flag here.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure Grandma's got some extra kernel-free popcorn. It's about to get it on like Donkey Kong here from this 3/4 mile hot track facility. It races like a super speedway. It'll compress you like a spring. But at the end, only one champion, one victor can remain in victory lane. You got to hang out with us right here on SRM. You got it locked on the right YouTube channel. That pace car is going to go ahead and pull off the new guy. The 83 ride, he's going to have the green flag live in the Geico restart zone, and everyone's going to stand on it, put the loud pedal through the floorboards as everyone now fires off through the turns 1 and 2 complex for the first time, Mike.
Yeah. Kendall LeBron is out and away. He's got almost a half-second lead, so he has not slowed down any at all after that qualifying effort. Darren Mullis in second. Aaron Matthews up 3 positions already in that 5 Chevy up to P3, and he's looking for more on that outside run as Randy Mullins is fading back just a little bit into P4.
Yeah, you're right. Aaron Matthews, I'm sorry, not Aaron Matthews. Hunter Carmichael in the 5. Wasted no time at all, Mike, working on that outside of the racetrack. You got to be really careful working up there, though. That's a great way to kill those right side tires. As you see now, the 54 pulled dead even door-to-door as it's a John Forrest special going into the turns 1 and 2 complex. Still side by side. These guys giving each other plenty of room and caution out on the racetrack.
Yeah, caution out. Looks like it was towards the back of the field here. Let's see. It looks like Justin Belmonte had a little issue here. We'll see what happens here as they work their way through the corner. Firing off pretty well there. Oh, missed that braking zone and slid up the track, did the 16.
Yeah, he certainly did. If you go to jump on the biscuit there, Mike, you better hope it's going to bite down, because if it doesn't, that's exactly what this track's going to do to you. You're going to wash up the racetrack, and she is not forgiving, as we just seen here, is now working the first caution of competition here tonight.
Yeah, Jason Middlemiss there got a little too quick into the corner and wasn't able to slow it down enough to make the corner, slid up and used the 6 to help turn.
Nothing like having the Good Samaritan out there on the racetrack to help you make the corner. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure he wasn't prepared for it.
Yeah, definitely not. But he was able to keep it pretty well. I mean, even with the contact, the 6 there, was able to keep it out of everybody else's way, and was basically a single car incident there. But that's definitely not how Belmonte wanted to start his race here tonight.
No, certainly not. Is hopefully he able to dust that one off him. Smooth sailing from here. I guess that's the one silver lining, right? If you have a problem here or two early, you got enough time to just be patient, be steady, race yourself, not the racetrack, and you'll have time to recover. At least that's how they say it should work anyhow.
Well, definitely it is Richmond. There's going to be more than one caution here, but I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, at least if you get involved with the caution early, you have a few chances to get back on the lead lap. I mean, we're set for 250 laps, so you know there's going to be at least a couple more cautions. As long as you can ride it out, you have an opportunity to get back onto that lead lap and see what you have towards the middle to end of the race here.
You're absolutely right, Mike. The other thing you got to do is try to take care of those Goodyear Eagles. You overdrive that race car, this track will punish you in the long run. So those drivers need to keep that in mind, as well as we still continue to remain under caution here. That iRacing.com pace car out in front is Kendall LeVron. The new kid on the block has basically owned everything up until this point.
Yeah, he qualified well. He got an amazing jump on the restart, and he was out to half-second or so lead. So we'll see how if he's able to do that again this time, or if maybe Darren Mullins there gets a good run on that. I'm going to assume he's probably going to take that LeBron's going to take the inside line, so leave Mullins on that high side if he can make it work for him.
Yeah, judging by the way he caught everyone on the snooze button, I would say why change it up? I mean, given the fact that you only have literally a couple laps under green flag conditions on those tires. You're right, Mike. He's going to go ahead and take the inside, and he's going to put the 64 to his outside. Re-rack him, restack him one more time. Let's see if LeBron able to have some more early restart magic here. Is this field ready to rock and roll here one more time? Going through the turns 3 and 4 complex. Once again, pace car is going to go ahead, pull off, go down pit road. That's going to give the button back to Kendall LeBron in the Geico restart zone. Are they sure his name's not LeBron the way he's out there driving right now? Able to scoot away from Randy Mullins. The tag team boys, Mullins up front occupying second and third. Still side-by-side action from third on back. There's the 75 ride trying to squeak through on the bottom there. Oh, we got smoked. Kenny Capola off the pace in the back in the 77. That got scary.
That got scary real quick. Kenny Capola there had to check up, get out of the way, and luckily enough, he was able to keep it clean, and we stay green. He fades back to 10th position and gets back on the track, so we'll see what goes on up there. But as we're looking back through the field, we have the 5 of Aaron Matthews sliding back a little ways, battling with the 41 of Jordan Schmeets.
Yeah, Schmeets really staying dedicated to the top shelf where Mama likes to hide the cookies, or at least that second lane up. I'm curious to see how long he's going to try and remain up there and turn in laps, because from my experience, Mike, those tires just fall off so much quicker. But in the shortcomings, he is making it work.
Ooh, he is loose.
Big time loose.
Yeah, got loose coming off of the wall, and it looks like the 83 of Kendall LeVron.
What in the world happened to LeVron? Big time problems for the current leader.
I'm listening on race control, and I believe he got a penalty there for switching lanes too early.
Oh, on the restart. Some leagues, they have different restart zone policies. That could be an early nail in the coffin. He's going to have to dig his way back. That's going to go ahead and turn the lead over now to Wayne Bowen. That TRD-powered machine, Toyota's far few and in between, but right now they are leading the charge out in front, as he has almost a second advantage over Randy Mullins in the 54. Can start to breathe just a little bit. Is second place on back, though. That's where the action starts to pick up, Mike.
Yeah, they're almost 3 wide here with the 59 of Kyle Holden, Jordan Schmeets, and Aaron Matthews. 3 wide is not really something you want to say when you're driving here at Richmond, but these guys made it work and are back to just 2 wide here, working their way through the corners.
Yeah, you're right. Richmond and 3 wide typically doesn't work, but so far we've actually had a lot of success here early with these competitors. everyone giving each other a lot of respect, which you can see in the spacing and zoning department out there on the racetrack right now. I'm pretty sure Kenny Capola just dropped back south of 10th place out there on the scoring pylon, but you wouldn't know it as he's now rebounded all the way up to 7th, working on Jordan Schmeetz as he's really hugging that yellow line, taking the shortest way around in that 77 TRD Toyota.
Yeah, that 77 has got the line down low, and he is making it work as the 41 of Jordan Schmeetz goes up almost 3 lanes high in 3 and 4 there, and just can't keep up with Kenny Capola there.
Yeah, they don't call the 70 driver the 77 Mr. Excitement for nothing. That's Kenny Capola. Mike, you watch a couple of his races, it'll click, it makes sense. He also likes to go by the name Sasquatch as well. You have to be very leery of him at Watkins Glen if you know where I'm going with that.
Definitely. So Wayne Bowen is out to almost the second lead right now. Kendall LeVron is now first car a lap down as Warren Young is heading to pit lane as well. So we'll see how that all works out there. Kind of want to. I kind of want to go back and watch this restart, but I don't know that it's going to show us much at the moment. But Kyle Holden all over the back bumper of Darren Mullins now.
Holden is not known for having his patience. Not that he'll wreck you out of the way either. He's like the intimidator of old Mike. He's going to sit there right off the back bumper of that race car, just like you said, and put that driver in the pressure cooker. Can he make the 64, make a mistake, get him mirror driving, slip his line? We see him now turning and try to beat him into the corner here. Drag race going down to the turns 1 and 2 complex. Great job by the 64, though, keeping him honest, giving him plenty of space. He's going to come down, pinch him up a little, doesn't want him to be able to come up off the corner. Translation means he can't put the throttle down. And we're right back into a side-by-side Richmond special. Pick your poison, Mike. Who you like in this case?
I think you have to go with the inside line. Kyle Holden is sitting there, and he's able to basically race the line he wants and forces Darren Mullins to get out of it and is able to make that pass. So we'll see how he can race up to the back of Randy Mullins and maybe give Wayne Bowen there a little bit to think about. Because it looks like he is catching some lap traffic, maybe. Not too bad, but he'll catch him pretty soon here.
Yeah, with Wayne Bowen right now out there running 22.83 second lap times. You go further back into the field, they're already in the 23 second bracket. So you're right, Mike. He'll start catching lap traffic sooner or later. And then it's not all fun and games when you have that nice lead out in front, when you have to navigate all that traffic. You catch it at the wrong time. That's just what Randy Mullins, Kyle Holden, and others want to see, because that will make that deficit erased literally in an instant, depending on how you catch these lap cars and how they race the leader.
Yeah, definitely. You have the Monster Energy 45 Chevy here just in front of the leaders. We'll see if he's going to be able to close in or start to pull away and stay on this lead lap. If you're Kendall LeVron there, you do not want to see the leader get past David Balzer. See if we can find some action on track, as these guys have all pretty much single filed out. Like, here back here, we've got some action with Darren Mills, Chris Spear, maybe Ryan Huff there as well.
I was gonna say, if there's action anywhere out there on the racetrack, look for Justin Belmonte and company. He's usually always mixing it up. You see him working around Darren Mills there in the number 2 machine. He's up 5 spots from where he started. Darren Mills having a great run here in the early going. This all just inside the top 15. Everyone, I mean, Mike, if they had a driver's meeting before the race and they said, we don't want anyone making contact until halfway through the race, they are executing at a flawless level right now. But the man on the move, or has the tall order at hand, has to be the fill and substitute driver of that 83 machine. I mean, it's been all glory or famine. Is everything just went wrong for him on the restart, made it, believe it was a lane change infraction, went a lap down, and suddenly he's going to really have to drive his tail off. Not that he wasn't before, but certainly it's not going to be easy for that substitute, that fill-in driver in the 83 machine.
Definitely not. Let's go back here. We got a minute here. So here's the restart. Once they work their way through the field here. Hits that restart zone and moves up in front of the 64 before the start finish line, and that is what caused his problem today. So he goes back to the back of the field, has to do that drive-through penalty. So he drives through pit lane, gets back out on track, 25 positions from where he started. And as we were doing that, Bobby Justice.
Just when the broadcast wasn't looking.
That's the way it always goes.
You're not wrong, Blake. Bobby Justice, obviously, the 22 ZL1 Chevrolet Camaro. Trouble on the racetrack.
Oh.
Ouch.
Yeah, that does not seem that seems like he did not want to even tap the brakes. He caught the apron there. The 42 is going faster than he is. He lets the 42 go to his outside, and as they come into the corner, he just washes up the track and hits him right in the driver's door.
Yeah, they kind of have a meeting of the minds there. You're absolutely right, Mike. The 42, Warren Young, involved there as well. Well, that seems to be the story. Everyone else, from a competitor standpoint, right now we're seeing the give and take on the racetrack. A lot of the give, right? It's early on. You have to survive to be alive. You got to keep all four tires on the race car. You want to try and keep this car somewhat aero sound. I mean, it's not that it's hypercritical, but still, you don't want to look like a dump truck or a snowplow out there with 15 laps to go, and everyone executing that beautifully. Only problems we've seen is just a little bit of an overcookery, or just driving into the corner a little bit too hard, and that's where the issues have stemmed from.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You see him just get a little too quick into the corner, or they change up their line so they miss that braking zone that they have to have, and they just slide up the racetrack. That's what's caused the last couple cautions. But as that caution waved, if I'm not mistaken, Kendall LeVron here should be getting the lucky dog here. So he'll get back on the lead lap, and we'll see how that all shakes out here.
I'll tell you what, nothing like a bottle of Rejuvenate, or that driver of that race car was probably sick to his stomach after the start that he had here. But now he's back on the lead lap. We'll see if that revitalizes or reinvigorates that driver, who probably doesn't need to be reinvigorated at all, as he was bad fast through the early part of competition. So 78, though, continues to lead. 37 laps in the books. I want to thank everybody for joining us live on SRM. He's Mike the Money. I'm Matt Metler. You got it locked onto the right YouTube channel. Now make sure you lock it in on your esports sim racing action leader, SRM. Easiest way to do that, smash the like button, ring the bell. Come home to 7 days of high-flying, high-octane racing action only right here on SRM.
Yeah, definitely. As we take a look here on Brandley Mullins on the hood of this 54 Chevy is the title sponsor of the race. Ram Welding and Fabrication. Check them out if you're in the North Carolina area. I'm sure they'd be happy to help you.
Big shout out for them to coming on board. Small town values. But guess what, Mike? Their hearts as big as the state. They care. So go see the ones that care. Check these guys out. Moonshiners pumped to have them on board with them tonight. So if you're tuning in right now to the broadcast, check them out, Mount Pleasant, North Carolina area. In fact, if you're in North Carolina, go see them. They make all the difference in the world.
Definitely. So here they go. They get set to go again, and we've got Wayne Bowen and Randy Mullins in row 1, Kyle Holden and Darren Mullins in row 2. See how they shake it out here as they get to that Geico restart zone, and Wayne Bowen is down and away, and he is out to already over a quarter-second lead. Kyle Holden up to second. Aaron Matthews into third, so that inside line hooked up pretty well as Mullins gets loose on the bottom side, forced to check it up and get back into line there.
Yeah, that could have been ugly if there was a little less separation between himself and the 5 of Aaron Matthews. Look at this, going for the lead right off the restart here. He's going to turn it in down low, eating hard on the inside, door-to-door, side-by-side. Who can hit the loud pedal first? What a corner exit by Wayne Bowen, able to jump him and put that car back in the lead. But something tells me that 59 of Kyle Holden ain't done yet, Mike.
No, Kyle Holden is making some moves. He's already up 10 positions. Not the biggest mover of the race. If you're looking for that, you need to go back a few more positions to Justin Belmonte here, up 16, just inside that top 10.
Yeah, like as I was alluding to earlier in the broadcast, don't let that deep in the field starting spot fool you for Justin Belmonte. I knew he would be up here towards the front sooner than later. Up 16 positions, as Mike was just saying. He is on a run right now. Oh, we got a guy off in the infield helping the landscapers out. That's going to be the 38 of Ed Broyles Jr. As we stay green, though.
Let's see what happened here. Looks like just loose coming off of 4, slide through the infield.
Oh yeah. He picked the best spot to do it. He had all that grass to work with. You do that on the back stretch there, that's going to be a concrete sandwich.
Yeah, definitely was the right place to do that. You slide through that grass, you lose a ton of spots, but you don't really wreck your car, and you stay out on the racetrack here.
You live to fight another lap. No fast repairs in this league as well, so if you mess up, you wad the car up. Or as Tony likes to say, Bluetooth suspension that can end up putting you on the hauler here early. Everyone's still chasing the 78 of Wayne Bowen. He is a man on a mission right now. With Kyle Holden and that 59 keeping him honest, he is not letting him get away. That interval's been flirting around 0.4 of a second. And don't forget about Aaron Matthews in third. He's lurking just a couple tenths back. Been very silent, very quiet so far, methodically moved his way up a couple spots, and he is in that strike position should these two get into a micro battle up front.
Yeah, definitely these guys are moving back and forth here. Looks like they've almost like some of them have elected to kind of save their tires. Kenny Capallo there up into 5th position, up 4 spots. I mean, he fell outside the top 10, but now he has that Bass Pro Shops Toyota move in the right direction here.
Yeah, what's the marketing slogan of Toyota? Let's go places. That's exactly where Kenny's going. He's going to the front. But I agree with you, Mike. Looks like he's out there. Don't want to say Sunday drive territory, but he's definitely taking his time. You know, these drivers have a ton of experience And with that experience comes patience at a racetrack like this. And you're seeing that on full display right now. Gets a little loose coming off the corner, but, you know, when you're running these lap times, that's to be expected.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like most of the field is kind of single filed out. We got some action back here in 15th through, looks like about 18th position. We got Jordan Schmitz, Darren Mills, Chris Spear, and Matt Mackin there.
Matt Mackin having a great run. He's up 15 spots as well, 16 positions on the racetrack. 48 started in another zip code, and he worked himself to crack inside the top 15. Mackin on the move as well here early.
Like these guys are starting they're starting to battle up front here a little ways.
Yeah, Mike, they certainly are. They're starting to get a little racy now. It's north of 50 laps on these tires. You got to remember there are stage breaks that are going to be looming as well. Those stage points ever so important. Barry Sanders Jr. trying to get inside of the 43 of Stephen Gibson Jr. Just not able to quite have the roll through that center of the corner right on that apex. Is now you see Justin Belmonte starting to adventure up to the high side of the racetrack as well. He's potentially there to strike if Barry Sanders struggles trying to execute on passing the 43 of Gibson.
Yeah, Nick King got kind of checked up there a little ways, and they were 3 wide. Everybody did a little toe tap in there as they went through 3 and 4. Oof.
Yeah, they were toe tapping, high fiving, and everything else. You're right, it certainly got dicey there, Mike. Your points leader just in front of us, too, Shane P. Davis, Kenny Capolla's teammate, partner in crime. Tony calls that the Miami Vice paint scheme. I like it. It's loud, it's different, but you could never miss that car on the racetrack.
No, you can definitely not miss that. They kind of got that chrome look through that light blue area there. Heck of a job by whoever does their paints.
Well, I know Team Watson Racing Setups. They're the official setup provider. Kenny Capolla puts in countless hours in sometimes thousands of hours a month on the racetrack, working for everyone that's a part of Team Watson Racing. Big shout out to them, everything they do for the series. Maybe they have something to do with those paint schemes as well, Mike, but you're right. That's a very sharp paint scheme on Shane P. Davis's race car. Continue here to watch this battle here for 7th place on the racetrack. Stephen Gibson Jr. has it. Barry Sanders and company wants it.
Yeah, and just behind them, they're battling pretty well here too with Hunter Carmichael, Ryan Huff, Justin Belmonte, all looking for more on the track here as we get 17 laps until the stage break?
Yeah, you're right. Like 17 laps until this stage comes to an end. So now you're starting to see the urgency here pick up just a little bit. Hunter Carmichael, not where he wants to be right now. He slid back a little bit on the initial going, able to get back inside the top 10, working with his teammate there, all a part of Bad Boys Racing, Bad Boys, Bad Toys. Is you got a freight train here. This is the feisty hornet's nest, I think, right here out of everyone on the racetrack right now, Mike.
Yeah, they're moving every which way, trying to get as much ground as they can. You see Hunter Carmichael go clear up to that outside wall, trying to get a little bit more speed out of that 3 Chevy there. But Barry Sanders is holding tough down on that bottom line.
Yeah, it's so much to ask of the race car and those tires this deep into a run to make that outside work like that, but Hunter Carmichael's doing a really good job of just sending it on the outside of the racetrack. I mean, typically that's something you see on 4 fresh Dr. Feelgoods, not 61 laps in the run. That was a really strong move, quite impressive. Is now here comes Ryan Huff knocking on the back door of the 88.
And Ryan Huff was trying to get in there, and the 6 of Justin Belmonte was also trying to get there, but Barry Sanders just slowly drives away again.
And he's so consistent on that bottom, and obviously that's the shortest way around the racetrack. And the way this racetrack is configured, when you go to the top, I mean, you're driving in kind of an odd line. In my opinion, it's definitely not methodical, just compared to the way you run the bottom. I mean, on top of that, you have a lot more distance to cover. So even if you have the good years to get it done, you know, oftentimes the shortest distance around here, just because the speeds aren't as high, you know, tends to be the golden ticket.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be that way. But maybe a little later in the run, you can slide up just a little bit and maintain a little bit more speed than those guys down on that bottom line, as it looks like they've been able to do just a little bit. Justin Belmonte, Ryan Huff were battling for a while. Ryan Huff getting to the back of Barry Sanders, but just cannot get by him at the moment. He's just logging laps here. We got 10 to go in the stage.
Yeah, he gets a really good drive in, but he seems to be struggling a little bit on corner off. That's where you see the back end of that Toyota Camry step out and wiggle a little bit. So Sanders backing up the corners, making sure he's making it stick right on the bottom and making sure he's getting that good run off the corner. You see the wiggle, the jig again by Huff. I mean, their lap time's just about deadlocked even. Oh, Huff sends a pile driver in there, smears the back of Sanders. How did he save that race car?
That is going to be a close battle here, especially now. Barry Sanders, like he's trying to basically gather that car in. He doesn't want to lose any more positions right now as he's sitting P10. So the lap car to his inside is not going to bother him too much here. Might change his line, but the guy he needs to look out for is the points leader, Shane Davis, back there.
Yeah, Shane Davis is coming quick, fast, in a hurry as these laps continue to wind down for stage one. Sanders trying to hold on for a top 10, get that ever elusive point. Shane Davis, the points leader. Barry Sanders knows it, so you bet he's on a defensive driving campaign right now, trying to keep that 79 ride basically barred behind him. But he probably has fresh in his mind what happened with Ryan Huff. Doesn't want to have that happen again before the caution flies.
Yeah, definitely not, as he's working his way through this lap 70 here, but it looks like he tried to catch up to the lap car there of Ed Boyles Jr., just couldn't quite make the pass, and now everybody kind of faded back a little bit, including Shane Davis. Shane Davis now has Caden Nofree behind him in that 44 Toyota.
Yeah, when you take the momentum out of a part of the conveyor belt, it's going to have the accordion effect somewhere. You're right, Mike, and that's kind of what we've seen happen there. Is everyone, you know, 10th, 11th, 12th kind of stacked on top of each other now. And I think the reason why you've seen, you know, that little bit of, you described it as backing off, or they kind of just, you know, lip the throttle there a little bit, is these drivers know there's still a long way to go. So easy to get your car in a bad predicament here at Richmond.
Yeah, definitely don't want to do that, especially
just like that.
I was gonna say, especially with how many laps are left here. But Shane Davis, Caden Nofree are gonna kind of battle it out here for P11. We got 3 laps left to go here in this stage.
Yeah, 3 laps to go in the stage, and the 44 of Caden Nofree sends it down to the bottom. You tell me positions aren't important on the racetrack? Look no further than Caden Nofree. He is working right now. All-out warfare with Shane P. Davis right now, side by side. Another side-by-side battle right here, a little further up the road. This is Ryan Huff and Steven Gibson Jr. This is for 7th and 8th on the racetrack. Huff up another spot. Huff having a good long-run car.
Yeah, Huff is definitely moving. Barry Sanders there comfortably inside the top 10 now by a half second or so, so nothing to worry about right at the moment. But Wayne Bowen here going to make it through this final corner and pick up the stage win here. Caden Holden in second. Aaron Matthews in third. Randy Mullins, Hunter Carmichael round out that top 5. Go back to Kenny Kapala, Steven Gibson, Ryan Huff, Darren Mullins, and Barry Sanders Jr. for the top 10 and those stage points.
Yeah, all ever important points for all those drivers finishing inside the top 10. This is going to end the first stage of this race. I want to thank everyone for tuning in with us. You got it locked on the right YouTube channel right here on SRM through 77 laps of competition here from the Mid-Atlantic Richmond International Raceway. So Mike was saying Wayne Bowen took that first stage after all roads looked like it was pointing to the 83, the substitute. LeVron, till that restart went wrong, as everyone, Mike, you know, is going to be coming down pit road looking for 4 Goodyears and 2 cans of Sunoco fuel.
Yeah, they're definitely going to hit that pit box, get all the good things that the pit stops will provide, and get set for that second 75-lap stint, as the next stage break is 150. But it looks like we might have a couple guys trying to get a little more track position back.
Oh, yeah, you're about to see the chess match start here early, perhaps. You mentioned getting track position back. Who's going to score it out of the cannon first off at pit road? There goes the 78. Kenny Capola and others. Believe he's going to retain the lead. Wayne Bowen getting it done on pit road.
Yeah, Wayne definitely got it done there. Let's see.
There's Atwood in the 24. He's coming down pit road now.
It looks like he held on for a little while there.
The tire smoke there.
Like he had to check up pretty quickly. Well, let's see here. Hey, Wayne, Mike up in the booth. How's it going, man?
So far, so good. Just out here trying to stay out in front of all the chaos.
Definitely look like it. You are in the right position right now. How's it out there racing here at Richmond with the heat and the track temperature?
I mean, it's fine right now. Car's dialed in. It's driving about as good as I could ask for. Just get your marks and just count the laps down and just try to keep the fenders on and get it in, and you know, just try to keep ourselves in a position to have a shot at the end if we can keep the nose clean.
Definitely. Well, congrats on your RS Button Box stage win, and we'll let you go and maybe talk to you towards the end of the race. What chat were you in, Wayne? I didn't see.
Oh, beast mode.
Beast mode.
Yeah,
all right, I'll drop you back in, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you, bud.
Yep.
Well, I say he's hit that right on the head. He has been beast mode, Mike. You hear all the confidence in his voice. He even said on the radio that car is driving perfectly, doing everything that he wants it to. That could be dangerous for other drivers, as very rarely is your car perfect in a driver's state of mind here at a racetrack like this.
Well, I mean, when you're out front, you don't really have too much to worry about. He didn't really catch the lap traffic that we thought he was going to, so he was able to stay out front and keep that nose clean, and we'll see what happens again once they make their way down this backstretch to that Geico restarter zone, if he can get that jump.
Which he was able to do on a couple other restarts there inside of stage 1. Now on to stage 2, bigger and better things. Gonna go a little bit longer distance here in this stage. That pace car is gonna pull off. Everyone's gonna rack and stack behind. Wayne Bowen in the Geico restart zone gets another great restart, Mike. Able to pull out 2-3 car lengths over Aaron Matthews, him charging hard on the inside. Nice move there by Matthews.
As we have
He's
Kyle
been-
Holden and Kenny Capalla here battling it out.
Yeah, here comes Kenny, right on time, the 77. I'm telling you, no one hits the afterburner when they want to, like the driver of that 77 ride. I mean, Mike, at one point, he was outside the top 10, way outside the top 10, and now look at this. He is knocking on the back door all over Aaron Matthews as they're side-by-side just behind him. There's Kyle Holden. There's Randy Mullins going at it door-to-door, side-by-side. Oh, throws the squeeze job in there. Thank God he had enough room to fit that Camaro in between those two cars.
Yeah, Kyle Holden doesn't look like he wanted that caution as he started fading back pretty quick. He was up in second before that stage break there, and now he is battling back in fourth position after the car didn't quite seem to be where he wanted it after that pit stop.
Yeah, it's, you know, everyone's got a different setup in this league. Everyone has custom setup in the race car. You know, it's all about how you tune it. Do you want the car to set up for a short green flag run? Do you want it to be good over the long run? And perhaps that's currently what we're seeing out of that race car. Perhaps it doesn't fire off well, but as you said, Mike, probably didn't want to see a caution flag as that car looked pretty sharp near the end of the tire run before that first caution flag. Kendall Levron making his way back through the field. Don't forget about him. He is now up to 10th, working on the back of Huff for 9th.
Yeah, definitely not the I'll call it the second part of stage one that he wanted after that one restart sent him to the back of the field, but he is moving up ever so slightly as he's just made that pass on Ryan Huff. Next up is points leader Shane Davis and then Steven Gibson.
Continue to watch Kenny Capolla's march towards the front, all the way up to second place for Mr. Excitement K-Time P2. Checking out the lap times, Mike. Wayne Bowen still the fastest guy on the racetrack. Last time by a 22:35 to Kenny Capolla's 22:39. But they are awfully close in time. Let's see if Kenny can complete the comeback here. But still, you have to look at the long game here. Don't burn these tires off too soon. You have a ton of laps to go before the end of this stage. Already's put himself in a great position, one in back of the leader. That should keep you out of most of the trouble, at least before you start to catch lap traffic. Anyhow, there's the 45, a little off the pace there. He should stay high and let Wayne Bowen and the leaders by, and he does. Gives these guys plenty of racing room as they are all conveyor belting once again along the bottom.
Ooh, Kenny just wasn't quite able to clear that 45 Monster Energy machine and about went side by side through the corner, and now Kyle Holden is making his way back on that inside line as well, if he's going to be able to pass the 45 here as they come through that front stretch.
Yeah, not the 45's doing anything wrong. You can clearly see him getting up and out of the way. It's just that line when you have to go up there, or how you catch that car. We alluded to it in the pre-race show, Mike. If you catch this lap traffic, wrong place at the right time, it could be disastrous, and it almost was for the driver of the 77, Kenny Capolla.
Yeah, he went up there and about touched him on that on-corner exit, and that's just kind of what happens when you're racing through here. You want the faster line. Well, the faster line goes from the bottom clear out to the wall, almost on the front and back straightaway here.
Want to be eaten on the bottom, almost right on that yellow line, and when you pick up the throttle, you want to carry it all the way out to the rim of the fishbowl. You're absolutely right. And if you got a race car somewhere in between, if that trajectory, it could be disastrous. Because now we continue to watch Wayne Bowen carry the torch here. Jamison Middlemiss going to get way out of dodge here. Oh, and still, even with Middlemiss up as high as he was, the way that the 59 of Kyle Holden caught him, he really had to jump on the binders there. That's going to allow Aaron Matthews there to pull alongside and make the pass. Oh, as he gets into the wall.
Aaron Matthews made the pass. Randy and Darren Mullins passed that lap car as well. Now you have those the two lap cars here battling for position just a little bit. Well, I guess not quite, as Jamison Middlemiss is down a couple laps, but
Middlemiss almost got split. I believe it was either the 43 or the 83. They had so much momentum after Middlemiss hit ricocheted off the wall. One went for the oh, he's in the wall again. Middlemiss just not having a good time of it right now. All the lead lap drivers. Yeah, all the lead lap drivers trying to carefully navigate around the 16, who clearly just, there's something not right in that race car. Middlemiss clearly has his hands full, as you see him now trying to diligently slide to the back of the train, and he does successfully. Oh, as he gets a piece of the wall there again off of 4.
He is just having a rough time here at Richmond, as the 7 of Chris Spear and the 74 of Paul Whitley almost get together as they're 3 wide with Middlemiss there.
Yeah, Mike, you said it best. It's all about the trajectory on this racetrack. You know, you don't have a ton of real estate really to work with, and to be fast around, you know, this facility, you have to drive this track a certain way. And like you said, if you have a race car there, it's just wreaking havoc, and we've seen it a couple times. Great situational awareness by these drivers. Not getting involved with Middlemiss is clearly something amiss with the 16.
Yeah, it definitely is.
I'll tell you where it's all guts and glory. That's at the front of the field, as Wayne Bowen continues to enjoy about a half-second lead off the Slideways Kenny. What a save. Woo! That'll get your blood pressure going.
Yeah, Kenny was sideways there, and luckily Kyle Holden was able to get out of the way, as now everybody towards the back of the field is trying to get by. Looks like the 41 of Jordan Schmeets here, as he looks like he might have got a little bit out of shape and got pushed out into that high line. That's not really somewhere you want to be.
Yeah, he kind of got pushed up there into the black hole. And you can really see how when you get that car into that groove, if you're not accustomed to running that, getting those reps in, you know, that car seems to drive a lot different, and these drivers really have to adapt. Ooh, little squirrely there off the corner. That's John Binder, excuse me, in the 33. They're up 14 spots. Justin Belmonte there as well. This is probably the heaviest battle on the racetrack. This just outside the top 10 in that 11th through 13th place, 14th place position.
Yeah, they're trying to figure everything out, and there's some pretty good racing back here. Nothing to worry about up front, as Bowen, Kapala, and Holden are all 0.3 of a second or so away from each other right now. And with that being said, Matt, I think we're going to step aside for our first commercial break here and pay some bills. This is the Moonshiners Racing Cup Series on Sim Racing Media. You won't miss anything as we go side by side, and we'll be right back momentarily. right, welcome back everybody to the Moonshiners Racing Cup Series. On Sim Racing Media, we are working lap 114 of 250. We have one more stage break coming into play. The race has been basically dominated here early by Wayne Bowen after a costly mistake. Cost pole setter Kendall LeVron, but he is now up to 7th.
Yeah, he is methodically charging his way back through the field. Mike, if you recall, was the beneficiary of the lucky dog after the first stage. Or I'm sorry, he got the lucky dog before the end of the first stage and able to get back on the lead lap, and he is charging. Kenny Coppola, that car seems to be a bit off from where he wants it right now. Kyle Holden hammering all over the back of that 77, doing everything but making contact with that race car, really putting Kenny Coppola in the pressure cooker right now. You see Kenny's moved up about a half a groove on the racetrack. He gets it into full drift mode and it does a tail slap. God, Kyle Holden.
Kyle Holden able to hold it together as Kenny Coppola was almost sideways. Once again, we've seen it a couple times here, especially later in these runs when the tires start to kind of go away here. But Kenny Coppola now back into 5th position after the dramatic exit of the corner there.
I mean, it looked like a drifting competition. He literally tank slapped his fellow competitor. And if you blinked, you would have missed it. I mean, it didn't even faze him. Incredible driving.
16's pulling off here. Looks like he's going to get out of the way.
Yeah, the problems continue there, unfortunately, for Middle Misses. He is on the apron of the racetrack, most likely taking that car down pit road. Perhaps something broke. I just know that car did not have the pace in it ever since we took the green here for the second stage. Side-by-side action returns up front. Kenny continues to activate drift mode just behind the 5 of Aaron Matthews and the 54 of Randy Mullins. These boys still don't have it sorted. This is for the final podium position, 3rd. Pick your poison. Who do you want? You got Aaron Matthews on the top. Randy's committed to the bottom. And Kenny committed to drifting just behind these guys.
Yeah, as you say that, let's see here if I can get here. Take a look at that action.
That was just wild. Watch this. Kenny throws it down in the corner, goes to pick up the fire, puts the power down, gonna drift it. Back slaps the 59 on the way through. Mike, if I do that, my car's in pieces. My teeth are destroyed. I need a new face.
Yeah, that is just crazy. Oh, looks like Kenny Coppola crashed it while we were looking away here.
Broadcaster's curse. I'm sorry, Kenny. What happened to the 77? Comes up, hits the wall. Oh. Don't. Ouch. Oh, my. That was a 1-2 whack-a-mole that will certainly reroute and reposition your spinal cord, as he instantly either Alt F4s or takes it directly to pit road. Probably one of the most violent wrecks you'll ever see at Richmond. My goodness.
Yeah, that is just crazy. Let's see here.
Who took the car to the face? Watch this. Mike slows it down here for you.
Let's do this here. Let's go to the nose here of the 79.
Oh, don't tell me his teammate.
So here you go.
There's the contact. See the plume.
Yep.
Oh, no. Does he catch Shane Davis to the face?
Yes, he does.
Oh, look at the parts scatter, and here comes the howitzer. Oh, my. Oh. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
A nuclear bomb has just went off in their camp. I've never seen quite anything like that in my life. After we were just giving him props and shouting him out for that drifting move he just pulled, the broadcaster's curse strikes again. Mike, I'm telling you, this is a real thing.
Oh, it definitely is. We were broadcasting last night the Western States Racing League, and Mac and I were talking about somebody. Then all of a sudden, like he couldn't. His steering wheel just quit working. It was insane. Like I don't understand, but it is a real thing, and it does happen. So, Kenny, I'm sure you're listening. So you can send that to SRM, care of Tony Trapasso.
Oh, he does such a good job of handling the hate mail. Oh, Tony, if you're listening, bud, hopefully you're feeling better. Mike and I up here tried to do you proud up here in the SRM booth. Usually we say no one takes a car to the face like Nick King. Not tonight. It's Shane P. Davis. I mean, he took it all the way through the buffet line, the dessert line, and back through again.
Yeah, it didn't look like that Capallo there was going to slide clear up the racetrack. Like Davis was probably going to be safe, but that was not the place to be as they get stacked up ready to go once again here.
And you saw how violent that collision was. I mean, the front of the car just exploded on impact. Talk about a deer in the headlights moment for Shane P. Davis. Two fast competitors now out of this race. As the lights go out on the pace car, re-rack, restack the front row. Wayne Bowen going to try and fend off Kyle Holden here. And Mike, look who's in third.
The man on a mission there. Drive angry. Kendall LeBron there. Back up inside the top three. We'll see if he's going to be able to make his way back towards the front here as we get set to go. We're inside 25 laps to the stage break. Wayne Bowen once again has control as they hit the gas restart zone, and he is down and away. He is pulled away again by over a quarter of a second.
How does Wayne Bowen get that jump on the restart without spinning the tires? That car is hooked up, at least on the initial drop of the green flag on these restarts, and it has great pace in the race car. 83, Laverne almost comes up and gets into the back there, gets a great run through the corner. Car scattering towards the apron, not sure what happened there. Yellow flag back to the air.
I'll say it looked like everybody was scattering everywhere. Went to look back to see what was happening. Ooh, the two was drifting. Locked him up.
Darren Mills in the two.
Yeah, let's see what else happened here. Looked like something else was going on up towards the front here.
Yeah, it certainly did, Mike.
I saw the 5 jump down. Got the 4 and 54 here. Ooh, the 93 and 33 check together. The 4 just goes down off track, trying to avoid everything that was happening there.
Yeah, trust me, I get why Nick King brought it all the way down to the grass, because usually if it cooks off in front of him, he is a magnet. Nick King did a great job making sure he stayed out of that one. Darren Mills decided to take the Pro Light truck line through the infield, or through the grass, I should say. But Mike, like earlier in the race, thank goodness he didn't do it on the backstretch. He didn't have all that extra runoff. He wouldn't have had all that extra runoff to catch that race car.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, he made the right call as everybody was kind of scattering to figure out where everybody was going after that little checkup there.
Yeah, I knew something was up when the 5 looked like it squirted out of a hot dog bun. And we both kind of saw that at the same time, but excellent analysis there, Mike. You picked that perfect on the replay there, breaking down just how, everything can be perfectly fine, and then you blink, you look away from the screen, and you can be sitting at instantaneous potential disaster looming. Those are all the characteristics of this racetrack. I kind of miss seeing it run under the lights, Mike, I'll be honest with you, but still, these guys, these competitors, putting on a great performance here so far through 132 laps.
Yeah, definitely. I can't imagine what the interview would be like if Kendall LeVron here is able to get the race win after having that black flag early in the race.
I know one thing, Wortman Jr. would probably be through the roof on the phone. We might talk to both of them. Which I'm all about it. But does it look like his battleship was sunk? Not the case. He's got that reinforced iron hull on that race car. He's brought it back through the storm, and he is sitting there in third.
Yeah, and the other thing, he's made it through some of these cautions, I mean, completely unscathed. So we'll see how that works out for him. Because, I mean, usually when you're in the back of the field, you're at least pick up something, some sort of damage or get collected, not necessarily by something you did, but by somebody else. And looks like he's been pretty much out of harm's way there.
I didn't even see a wheel mark on that race car. I mean, looks like it came off the showroom floor.
Yeah, so they got stacked back up here. Bowen and Holden on the front row. Gibson and LeVron in row 2. Huff and Belmonte in row 3.
Yeah, Huff here having a great run. And Justin Belmonte, remember, in fact, 5th, 6th, and 7th. I mean, look at how many spots they've gained on the racetrack. Those are the biggest movers of the race, and they're all inside the top 10 as that pace car pulls off, Mike.
Yeah, Wade Bowen gets that Geico restart zone, and he doesn't waste any time. He's out in front and crosses that start-finish line, moves up to the high line to start arcing that corner, and Kendall LeVron follows him right through, and he's up to P2. Kyle Holden gets stuck to that high line and is back to third now.
Oh, Mike, that is almost scary the way that 83 car will maneuver. It's like cutting through this piece with a laser, with like a oh my God, like a lightsaber. That's the word I'm looking for, the way that car is able to just thread the needle. 2x2 action as we go back on through the field. There's John Binder in the thick of it. Oh, gets skinny. Oh, there's trouble. Belmonte gets into the 59. How do we stay green? And another incredible save.
Kyle Holden just lost all control of that car. Looked like it made a hard right-hand turn right in the middle of that corner, and there was nothing he could do about it. Luckily for everybody else, nobody else really got caught up in it too much here.
Oh, there it goes. Barry Sanders will take a new race suit.
Woo.
I believe that all started, I think I seen some smoke coming off of Ryan Huff's right front or left front tire here in the 93. You can see Belmonte there in the 6, just to his outside. Then you got a hard side-by-side battle just behind him with Aaron Matthews and Binder.
The 6 looks like he gets loose and heads towards that outside wall. The 93 sliding up just a little bit there.
I think if I saw it right, I think it was Huff on corner entry.
We'll be coming up to it here momentarily. Oh, yep. 93 there.
Smoking. He locks the tire up. That's going to force him up the hill. Clips Belmonte, and Aaron Matthews is right there. And it's a 1-2 whack-a-mole. And Barry Sanders is staring at the... How did Barry Sanders get through that?
He got lucky. There's what he got. Let's
I mean, I know he said he needed a new race suit, but he might need more than that after a second look.
let's see here. Let's There we go. So it'll start to set off right here. Further down. So there you see the smoke. Matthews checking up. Sanders checking up.
And keep in mind, Sanders has no idea what's going on in front of him. You see him get into the back, and the first piece of daylight Barry Sanders gets is Ryan Huff straight to the face and somehow teleports his way around that race car. Unbelievable piece of driving by Barry Sanders. And how about Aaron Matthews as well? I mean, there should have easily been 3 cars wadded up there.
Yeah, definitely should have been here, but let's
I mean, Barry Sanders and Ryan Huff were so close there, they could have played Uno Mas. I don't know if you know what Uno Mas is, Mike, but if you haven't watched Shanghai Noon, check it out.
look at this.
Got a full-length highlight reel here through 142 laps.
So here we go, watching Kyle Holden. What happens here, I do believe. It happened pretty soon here as Kyle Holden goes to that outside wall. Yeah, right there.
Yep.
Just crazy there. As they are back green flag racing, or continuing to green flag race.
Yeah, no caution there either. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, not the case, and it's a 3-legged horse race for the lead here. Look at Randy Mullins in the 54 on the high side. They said in Days of Thunder, no one goes up there and makes a move. Don't tell Randy Mullins, because he's about to do it. Can he clear coming off the corner? He can. Randy Mullins with the flex. What a move. 54 to the lead, and he's bringing Darren with him.
Yeah, the outside line, nobody kind of hangs out up there. And this outside line got a heck of a restart. We are 5 to go to that stage break, so everybody's trying to get as many points as they can as the battle heats up back towards the back as well, with Steven Gibson, Aaron Matthews, Barry Sanders Jr. all trying to figure out where they want to be. As just behind, we got Carmichael, Jordan Schmeetz, and Carmichael's just going everywhere except for straight.
Yeah, Carmichael is all out of sorts. And another near disaster. Caden Nofree said, not me. That was awful close.
So Randy Mullins checked out on the field. He just ran the fastest lap of the race with a 22:33.
These boys just mowed down the field on the high side of the racetrack. I mean, they just sent off a rocket around the outside. Look at John Binder continuing to climb his way forward. This is an impressive run from the Sundrop Chevrolet driver. Up 23 positions in 148 laps. And the car is absolutely perfect. And look who's working outside. There's Kendall LeBron. He seems to maybe have stalled out just a little bit, maybe overdrove this set of tires, as he has his hands full now with John Binder for that 4th place position.
Yeah, he definitely does, but the good thing about it is, you know, everybody's coming to pit road next lap.
Yeah, you got to survive just to come across the start-finish line this time by. Then you'll have the stage caution here, lap 150, or should be. As Binder clears. Oh, there's contact at the line.
They'll have to make this final lap here.
Barry Sanders said, please, guys, I don't want any more of that. I've had enough.
Yeah, everybody's kind of checking up, staying out of the way as Kendall LeBron is still fading back here towards the end of this run here. Caution will come out. Randy Mullins is going to win the stage.
What a drive. What a pass by Randy Mullins and Darren Mullins to dethrone Wayne Bowen from the stage win. The Mount Pleasant, North Carolina native wins stage 2. It's an all Mullins front row family affair here at Richmond. I like the way they took that. They made that charge. You got to watch for that move potentially late. Like that might be a little trickery there for the win, perhaps, if it presents itself right.
Yeah, they were hanging out there and just kind of, you know, went through the motions, staying, you know, inside the top 10, but wound up making that run on that high side when I want to say everybody kind of fell asleep. You know what I mean?
That's almost what it looked like. They had so much momentum up there. Now, I know with the stock setup, at least I wasn't able to do that. I mean, if I tried to go up there with that many laps on, it was Captain Crunch all day long, but not for Randy and Darren Mullins now, as they're going to, everyone making pit road the hottest commodity here at the Speedway right now. You see Jordan Schmeetz, everyone getting service on their race car. Wayne Bowen, Kendall LeBron there in the 83, filling in, doing an excellent job. Even the exit cone getting in on the action.
Justin Bellamonte's up a few spots, didn't pit that time. Jordan Smeets as well, didn't pit.
Yeah, the 41 here stayed out. Big time Las Vegas high stakes mode move here.
Well, let's see if we can get Randy up here in the booth. Hey, Randy, Matt, and Mike up in the booth. How's it going, man?
It's going good, brother. How about yourself?
Not too bad. Well, it looked like you were kind of sitting back waiting and jumped at just the right time in order to get this stage win.
Yes, sir. The 78's fast. I mean, he's rolling the center really well. My car's good on the long run, but track position is very key. So riding behind the 5, I was just kind of biding my time, and then everything just kind of fell into place at the right time.
Yeah, it definitely looked like you had the car at the right place at the right time and were able to take advantage to get that stage 2 win. How's these final 100 laps going to work out for you here?
If I can keep it in the top 3 up till the pit stop, I'll be happy. I would love to see this thing go green the rest of the way, but I'm pretty sure we'll get 2-3 more cautions. So just got to maintain top 3 track position, but I think I'll be good.
Definitely will. Congrats on your stage 2 win, and maybe we'll talk to you at the end of the race.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Yep, later, man. Well, there you have it, Matt.
You know what? I can't disagree with anything he said. That was right point blank straight into the point. You know, sometimes these guys, I mean, they know everyone listens to this broadcast, especially in the cars, and sometimes they don't want to say they falsify things, but they'll put a little old intimidator approach to it. Not Randy Mullins. I mean, and again, you hear the confidence in his voice, you know, but he definitely did pay some respects there, you know, to that 78 car. Said it really got through the center really well, and he was right because he did that a majority of the run.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that 78 Toyota works his way back through the field as we get ready to go again. Jordan Schmeetz has the button, and he is waiting almost till the end, kind of stacks up the field a little bit just so he can get that quarter of a second lead. He's going to have to pit pretty soon here, as he last pitted on lap 138.
And no one eats like Jordan Schmeetz. He stays out, and he's the one eating good in the neighborhood right now, looking like a mastermind on that restart as he accordions the whole field so he doesn't put those old tires in jeopardy of a smoke show on the restart. But now here comes the herd. Randy Mullins, Darren Mullins picking right up where they left off, side by side, toe to toe. And there's knocking on the back door. It's not DiGiorno, it's Wayne Bowen. Oh, father on son action goes wrong. It's a 3-fer into the wall. They're still wrecking.
Kendall LeVron. Oh my gosh. Half the field.
And the big one strikes at Richmond.
Apparently.
That went horribly wrong so fast. This is right up at the point, just behind the leader. This is exactly what Schmeetz wanted to see. Unfortunately, it comes at the expense of the 54 and the 64 and others.
So apparently the broadcaster's curse is alive and well as usual here. 54 locks the brakes up, slides up the track, tags the 64, spins him around. Ooh, stacks up the 33. Look who comes through. Barry Sanders Jr. down there on the bottom. The 4 kind of gets through there too.
Oh, there's the 83. He's going to get into Matthews. And that's going to send him up the hill. He's going to tag the 64 again. Yikes.
Well, that collected quite a few drivers here. Kendall LeVron, Matthews, both the Mullins.
A lot of good race cars, Mike, just have been impacted in one way, shape, or form here. I think the saving grace or the silver lining is I don't think it's damaged to the point that it's going to totally kill their winning chances, but it's going to make it a little more difficult for certain.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not something you want to see. As even, it looks like Wayne Bowen kind of got in it. He's outside the top 10 right now.
Yeah, he definitely was the biggest loser, I think, on that whole ordeal.
I mean, didn't look like he had too much damage, but, you never know how, especially in these cars, a little bit of damage could have a huge effect here as they work their way through this caution here.
Right. Sometimes you can hit it a ton and it doesn't bother the car at all. Other times, you just touch it and your spotter's on the radio saying you got wheel damage, this, that, and the other. Only time will tell. But Jordan Schmeetz was banking on a caution, and he got just what he had dialed up. And John Binder in second, up 25 positions. Oh, and don't look now, Sandman's behind him. Barry Sanders in third. Nick King in fourth. Stephen Gibson Jr. That's the top 5 as they run right now. Everyone filed in behind that iRacing.com pace car. Currently working lap 163 of 250. That's the scheduled distance. Mike, it's probably only going to pick up from here, is now we're inside of 100 laps to go.
Oh, it definitely will as they get stacked up and ready to go once again. And we know they can go at least 75 laps on fuel. But what is the pit strategy is going to come out of this once they get say another 25 or so laps? Is people are going to come in, or are they going to stay out and try and split this second or this final stage here and try and use as much good of tires as they can get?
I think a lot of that's going to be dictated. Do we see cautions, or do we run caution free as that pace car pulls off? Jordan Schmitz, can he do it again on the old Dr. Feelgoods? He does it again. Great restart by Schmitz as he fires off the cannon. Here's Barry Sanders side by side with John Binder in the Sun Drop Special. He's up front. He's not going to want to give that spot to Barry as he's fighting hard on the outside, and it's a 2x2 train behind him for second on back, Mike. Still side by side.
Still side by side. The 43 there of Stephen Gibson gets loose, slides up the track as he looks like he missed his braking zone, and Spear just gets turned and collects him up once again here.
Watch this drift by Spear.
43 checks into the 4. Ooh, the 78 of Bowen.
Oh. I at first look, I didn't think Spear caught a piece of the inside retaining wall. I thought he slid or drove it sideways all the way through that wreck. As it pops off right in front of Nick King, just as you said, Mike.
Yeah, we're on board here with the 14 or 78. You can see it kind of pop off here, and then you're going to see Wayne Bowen just get in the back of Chris Spear, send him off down the racetrack. He locks him up, and as he does that, he comes back up the track and catches him on the side.
Yeah, you can see the shadow of the race car there. And when he comes back up into traffic, it uncorks disaster. Hard impact again for the 78 of Wayne Bowen, who was having such a great run. Spear gets more contact. They get bottlenecked on the top shelf.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at everybody involved: Paul Whitley, Warren Young, Matt Mackin, Nicholas Atwood, Jamison Middlemiss. I mean, all these cars just caught up in this action here, but one guy who didn't get caught up in it is Jordan Schmitz.
No, he did not, and he's in the best place not to get caught up in it, and that's at the front of the field. But Mike, the main differential between him and everyone else inside the top 5, top 10 is he stayed out. He is on old shoes and does not have the fuel in the juice box right now the other competitors do. How long does he wait before he comes down pit road?
Well, like you said, I think it goes to how many cautions do you think we're gonna have? I mean, right now, if you make it another 5 or 6 laps, you know you can make it on fuel if it happens to go green the rest of the way. But if you think there's going to be some cautions, there's no need to really rush it. I mean, just kind of hang out here into the top and try and save that extra set of tires towards the end of the run here.
Yeah, so far the 41 has a magic 8 ball inside of that race car that has been on point thus far. Barry Sanders, John Binder in the 33, up 24 spots. Caden Norfrey up 18. Stephen Gibson Jr. up 10. Ryan Huff 16. David Balisari in the 45 up 20 spots. I mean, these drivers, some of these guys are doing an absolutely masterful job of keeping their car out of trouble, while others just can't seem to get out of their own way right now. But Mike, that's just Richmond.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You never know what's going to happen really once they take that green flag, as they're getting stacked up here. See how this restart shakes out once again. Looking back through the field, like they kind of got a few gaps in that outside lane. That's going to make it hard to make the restart here. But it's all up to Jordan Schmeets.
Yeah, he's went deep in the box. He's went early. He's going to go deep in the box again, and he pulls on the field. Old tires and all once more. The restart man with the plan. Jordan Schmeets continues to carry the torch. Binder is going to get around Barry Sanders, and he's under a ton of pressure now from Nick King. Is Barry Sanders able to clear? And he's going to, he almost uncorked one from second place as he forced himself right in front of Nick King.
Yeah, he definitely made that car shrink up just a little bit there to stay on that inside lane when he slid down. Whew.
I knew this intensity would pick up, and it has come up quick, fast, and in a hurry. We're not seeing that gap, that interval we seen earlier on in the race, as this is a hornet's nest right here, well inside the top 10. I mean, you got Schmeets, you got LeVron, Huff, Darren Mills, Gibson, everyone, all the big names right here in this cluster of cars, all fighting for, hook, line, and sinker. Throw the kitchen sink in there. I'm like, they're all out right now.
Yeah, they're all out trying to get a little bit of ground back. Kyle Holden was racing inside the top 5 for most of the race. Now he finds himself just inside the top 10 as they're nose to tail there. And Darren Mullins gets basically slid out of the way a little bit. Both of them are able to stay straight and stay green, but tap them in the wrong place and you set off the big disaster that we've watched a few times.
Yeah, when it has gone, it has been big. That is for certain. As you see the 64 there of Darren Mullins, he's got pug face. The front of that Camaro is caked in the wrong way. We've seen that work at times, believe it or not, as that allows more air underneath the car, which generates a lot of the downforce. Continue to watch him. There's Belmonte splicing it up again. He's going after Gibson.
We're under caution once again.
Caution back out on the racetrack. Thank you, Mike. I didn't even see that.
Gets a huge run coming off of 4 there and spins around. Looks like the 38 was around 2. Let's see if we can see what was going on with that 38 machine of Ed Boyles here.
Team Watson Racing Setups, number 38 Chevrolet Camaro. Yep, you're right, Mike. Self-spin. He lost it there in the loud pedal. Almost caught it and then lost it again.
That's got to be one of the things that happens, especially at these a little bit smaller tracks, when you get those fresh tires or you get some caution laps. You wind up losing that I'll call it not momentum, but the sequence that you always do, brake, gas, where you hit your marks. You just get kind of in a rhythm, and then all of a sudden, once something disrupts that rhythm, all hell breaks loose, like we've seen here.
Yeah, you lost the harmony, the vibe. I totally understand what you're saying. And I think that's a big part of it right now as well. Not to mention the heat cycling that's going on with these tires as well. That's also playing a factor here.
Yeah, definitely. Like Jordan Smeets has what 14 lap older tires here, and he's able to just draw on the field because he has control of that restart. So he lets them go either, a little bit. He keeps them on their toes because last couple times he goes way deep in that restart zone, and then in between that he went pretty quick. But they all get stacked up, and they never know which one he's gonna do. So that's the advantage of being, the lead car here and the one who controls those restarts.
You're right. He's the conductor right now. He's maestro out there, and he's calling the shots at an ever critical part of the restart process, and he's executing it beautifully. Just like you said, he's going deep in the box. He's went early. He's went right in the middle. He has these guys completely guessing right now, and he's not letting those 14, the deficit of 14 laps affect that race car, or he's not putting himself in position to let those tires affect him on the racetrack. And the best way to do that is just to keep gaming him on the restart, just like he's doing here.
Yeah, definitely. As he's dealing with John Binder, who is without a doubt the driver up the most positions. He's plus 25 right now, and he's looking for one more. He's got that Sundrop Chevrolet on the outside of row 1 here for this restart. We're going to be sitting with what, under 70 laps to go, give or take. So we'll see what happens here on this restart. Everybody who pitted can make it to the end on fuel, but you never know what's going to happen, especially here at Richmond.
No, you never know. You think you might. And how many times have we done this, Mike, and we kind of thought we knew how this was going to play out? It's never over until that checkered flag flies. I can promise you that. But one thing I can promise you, John Binder having the run of the season so far on that outside front line, paired with Jordan Schmeets. He's going to have the button one more time. Look at Barry Sanders trying to play creeper in there. Jordan Schmeets going to get away beautifully again. Drag race side by side. Here we go. Can we get a clean green run here? Is Jordan Schmeet is the only guy that's free right now. All the 45s around the 59 backs it in the fence. Oh, and someone just absolutely took the face.
Holy, my God.
That looked like the accordion effect gone wrong on the restart. Like, that's just my initial take at it.
Okay, look at the gap here between the 43 and 45. And the 43 goes down, makes it 3 wide, drifts up a little bit.
This was just
huge. 45 slides up, taps the 59. Goes down to the inside wall. The 6 tries to get skinny. The 7 as well, and taps the 48. So the 7 gets into it. 74.
It's a WWE tag team match from here on. I mean, look at that. Look at the impacts. The 38's helicoptering in the air.
45 going backwards there.
Someone's yelling on the radio, hey, you can't park there. Trust me, they know. Then you have the meeting of the minds with Atwood and Spear. Shane P. Davis back on the racetrack. This is right behind Darren Spills, or Darren Spills. I'm sorry, Bills. Brunch.
And around he goes.
Oh. That looks like the 495 in rush hour traffic around Washington, D.C.
That's just
I mean,
crazy.
that racetrack was plugged solid. We sure this is a short track?
I don't know. Maybe not.
This is absolutely next level. Watch this again. Watch how fast this all unfolds. Unreal.
Paul Whitley there with the race sponsor, Ram Welding and Fabrication. I mean, I guess they couldn't have sponsored a better race, right? Everybody's going to need a little welding and fabrication after this race is over.
And if you can't beat it, ram it. They got the ram part right too.
Yeah, apparently. I think they might need a little more dodge though.
I was waiting for that. Ah, the one car I wish we still had in the field, the Dodge.
Oh man. So Jordan Smeets is going to try this again. Barry Sanders had a good restart behind him, but now he gets to move to the outside, so we'll see if he's going to be able to make anything work here on this restart as Don Binder's behind him and Kendall Levron is in that outside lane P4.
Yeah, outside lane P4. Fifth, Kendall Levron, as you were saying, everyone re-racked, restacked. A little bit of a gap on the top lane. Levron's going to fill it. We're 2 by 2, ready for the restart zone. Back on the loud pedal. Schmeets executes a masterful restart again. Great job by Barry Sanders. Got a great run, but look at the drive in on the bottom by Binder. Is he going to be able to clear the 88? No, he's not. Barry Sanders fights hard back on the top side of the racetrack. Still 2 by 2. The 83 of LeBron lurking in the background as he has his hands full with Nick King. They're still side by side.
These guys are all over each other, side by side. Looks like Barry Sanders pulled down, elected to quit doing the side by side action with John Binder there. But just behind him, looks like Caden Nofree is saying, all right, I want to get back up here towards the front, get out of my way, as he makes a move on the 43 of Steven Gibson there.
Yeah, that was a big time move. He changed the trajectory of that car so abruptly it almost spun out on him. But you're right, he's had enough, clearly able to get free. Now he's in the single file configuration here. There is the 6 of Justin Belmonte. He's going to pull the slider on the 43 of Steven Gibson. This just inside the top 10. That's 8th and 9th on the racetrack. As Belmonte and Darren Mullins continue trying to recover from disaster about 25-30 laps ago.
Yeah, they definitely are, as Kendall Levron here down to the inside of Nick King as they swapped inside and outside lines. Looks like the inside line might be the way to go as King was able to get by, and Levron here is doing the same thing to Nick King there.
They do unto others as they do unto you. Mo, that's not what I'm talking about, though.
Caden Nofree just
took
sent it. And now they're wrecking behind him. Justin Belmonte into, oh my gosh. Do unto others, is that what you were saying?
Yes, as they do unto you. I just didn't mean for it to go that far.
Okay, so Caden Nofree gets into the 4. They stay green, they're fine. The 43 sticks his nose down to the inside of the 6. And the 6 is trying to get skinny there. It looks like the 4 maybe came down just a little bit, but the 43 helps him out and spins them both around there as the 43 also sliding down through the field.
Yeah, they pulled a move there out of the Three Stooges where they kind of just all try to go in the same direction and they ricochet off of each other. Just wasn't quite enough room there on the racetrack. Belmonte, he gets spun sideways, locks the house down. You see all 4 of those Goodyears locked up trying to prevent from sliding up into traffic. Shane P. Davis has another scary moment as well. Atwood right there in the 24.
Yeah,
Christian's
definitely.
starting to come into this now.
Oh, yeah. You're definitely looking at that. Just had to look at that again. Hidden Nofree gave a couple little bumps there, but they were both able to stay green there, but behind them, they just weren't quite able to check it up enough or stay off of each other. Kind of went to the same spot. But we are going to be getting close to that 200 lap mark when we go back green here.
Yeah, all these caution flag laps keep playing into the hands of Jordan Schmeets. Remember, he's on a 13 lap tire disadvantage to everyone else virtually nipping at his heels behind him. John Binder having the run of the year for that number 33 Sundrop Chevrolet, up 25 spots. Barry Sanders continues to impress in the 88 and third. And no one expected what the new guy, Kendall Levron, has done, filling in for Wortman Jr. in the 83. He's still a factor in this as well, Mike.
Definitely. I mean, you look at the top 5, and you have a guy up 25. Caden Nofree's up 17. I mean, even Jordan Schmeets is up 7. Barry Sanders is up 4. So, I mean, everybody's moving pretty well here. And the guy just inside the top 10, the 48 Chevy, is up 19 spots as well. So, we've got some big movers here. We'll see what happens once they get going back to green. I believe we're going to take the green flag on lap 200 because they're not stacked up quite yet here. We'll have a 50-lap shootout towards the end of this race. We'll see how much fuel Jordan Schmeets was able to save, because if they decide all of a sudden that they're going to clean this up and go green flag racing, it might not be the right idea for Jordan Schmeets here, but Don Binder is definitely in the catbird seat right now.
Yo, he definitely is. I mean, he's got the T-bone steak sizzling literally on the grill, cooking it to perfection right now, as he knows that 41 of Schmeets is on an off-cycle strategy. But Barry Sanders, I can promise you, he wants a win just as bad as that 33 does. Oh, and then you throw the wild card in there of LeBron, looking like the LeBron in the NBA out here on the racetrack. I mean, any one of these top 4, heck, top 10 drivers could go out there and win this thing, because Darren Mullins is still making his way back through the field. Bowen as well, as they try to recover from an earlier incident. All of this, and we only got 50 laps to go.
And this is going to be one for the ages here.
Looks like the Manhattan Project out there is now the 41 of Jordan Schmeets does it once again. Mr. Restart. I mean, he gaps him. He takes him to Gapplebee's. Unbelievable. Barry Sanders.
He gets that gap every time. John Binder down to the inside of Barry Sanders. As he drifts up, they stay green. They touch. But they are all good right now. But back behind them, it's getting a little hairy, as they were almost 3 wide as well.
Hairy, and some might say scary, as it's not all good in the neighborhood right now. I can promise you that right now. Oh, there goes the 78 again. Do we stay green? We do. The front of that car is missing. It's gone. And there he goes.
Now jumps to the pits, so we stay green, but
yeah, it was too spicy. I just knew something was going to happen, and unfortunately, it was the 78.
Got 3 wide there for a little bit. The 44-64, the 53, the 4. Yeah, so that wasn't the 78's fault. It looks like the 4 Nick King had to check up a little bit there and caused everybody else to check up behind him as well. But
Yeah, that was a full send doorbell test administered to Nick King, who continues to have a great run, mind you. He is in that 10th place position right now. Everyone's still either trying to recover from disaster, and the ones that have survived are up at the front of this piece. Jordan Schmitz, Barry Sanders, Binder, LeVron, he's a different story. We can come to that in a minute. Is the 83 is now door-to-door, side-by-side, working on John Binder for that third place position, going up against your biggest mover of the race. He's going to try and feed it through there on the bottom, but here comes Binder fighting back on the top, taking advantage of that additional real estate. We can get more miles per hour out of that race car, but the 83 sticks it. He's going to rip it on by. Look at that 33, tries the crossover mover. The 83 blocks. It is hot and heavy inside the top 5.
yeah, LeBron does not want to give up that position. And as we're looking through, Justin Belmonte back here in 5th position, just ran the fastest lap of the race as well with the 22.33. So he is a man on the mission, as he is to the inside of John Binder there.
Let's not forget Belmonte was able to drive up here from the back as well. And look who's coming with him. There's the 64 of Mullins in that Chevrolet. Has some damage still to the front. That splitter's kicked up. I'm telling you, that car is making more downforce right now because of it. Look who's all over the back of him. It's Kyle Holden. Shane P. Davis is there as well. He's in 8th. How did he get back on the lead lap? He took his teammate to the face. Shane P. Davis back in this.
Shane P. Davis is going to think this is the best race he's ever ran after getting basically his teammate right broadside in front of him, hits him, goes to pit lane, gets that car fixed up, and he's running P8 right now.
That car looks beautiful. You would never know the carnage he was involved in is just behind him. That's Caden Novry and Nick King going at it. That's for 9th and 10th place position out there on the racetrack. Shane P. Davis trying to do everything to stay out of that one. There's now just 40 laps remaining as we're starting to single file out here once again.
Yeah, that car looks amazing, but he's been on pit lane 19 times. So his pit crew has got work.
Yeah, they've definitely put all of the Bondo and Bear bonds, everything they could have put on that race car to make it look pretty again has been applied. They've done a great job.
Yeah, the only other guy that's even close is Justin Belmonte here with 12 pit stops, as he's working to the inside of Kendall LeVron here and trying to get up into P3, and it looks like he will do it with ease.
Yeah, Binder just lets him go. Now remember, he could catch a piece of the wall there. Binder more of a long run driver too as well. All of these restarts, heat cycling these tires all these times. I imagine that has to be a little bit of a factor here. Is Belmonte still with the afterburner engaged? Now looking to sink his teeth into Barry Sanders. That's for 2nd position on the racetrack. Does he clear side by side? It's a full out, full send. Hashtag Cletus McFarland into the 3 and 4 complex. They still don't have it sorted. Belmonte at the start-finish line, but will he have the spot into turn 1? Indeed, he will. Jordan Belmonte now up to 2nd.
Yeah, Belmonte is on a drive right now. He is on the freshest tires as he last pitted on lap 195. So he is definitely full of fuel and has those 4 fresh Goodyears. So he is making time right now. Jordan Schmitz does not want to see this guy in his rearview mirror. But as they have settled it down here, Belmonte is definitely sitting in that catbird seat.
Schmitz got big time loose there. Is Belmonte easily able to take the lead now? Is Barry Sanders fighting hard, working against a hard-charging Kendall LeVron as well? This for 3rd place right now on the racetrack as the clock keeps ticking. Remember, folks, only 23 seconds a lap under green flag conditions. We're running out of time quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah, definitely, as these guys are battling side by side towards the back here. Steven Gibson, Nick King And Aaron Matthews is trying to claw his way back up inside the top 10 as he is side by side with Nick King there.
Yeah, still side by side. You see him thought about 3 wide there, chose against it. You've seen him back out of the throttle. Live to fight another lap here as Ryan Huff working his way into this picture as well. In the 93, King's going to come up, almost touch the back of Aaron Matthews in the 5 ride. This just outside the top 10 is now, here comes Matthews on the attack, going after the 43 of Gibson Jr. for 10th. And look, he's bringing the other competitors with him as that's kind of checking up the momentum here, and that's allowing the 4 of King and the 93 and Huff to close right in on the back of Matthews as he tries to handle business against the 43 of Gibson.
Yeah, definitely, and you have the 93 of Ryan Huff trying to get to the inside of Nick King. All these guys battling it out, and it looks like up front we got Jordan Schmeetz and Barry Sanders going at it as well right now. Sanders is trying to get that P2 position. Kendall LeVron not too far behind him, and Darren Mullins as well. Schmeetz is, I think Schmeetz is wanting another one of those yellow flags because he is going the wrong way and in a hurry now that he's out of that clean air.
Well, that's just the thing. We knew his saving grace was those cautions. If we got the green flag run as Barry Sanders gets a little loose coming off the corner, we knew those other tires would eventually prevail. Justin Belmonte was able to take the torch. That puts the 41 in dirty air. Now that issue compounds itself, and you can tell he is holding on for dear life right now with the 41.
Yeah, he is trying to everything he can. I mean, if he can hang on and if he has enough fuel in that 41 machine, that's going to be a heck of a drive for him as well. I mean, you can't say he didn't try or pull out all the stops to try and win this one here, but right now he's got Kendall LeVron making his way to the inside, and now he's going to have work to do on that outside lane.
He's been doing a good job. He's found a little extra step up there on the top side of the racetrack. This car seems to be definitely quicker in that middle to high lane, but here comes LeVron on the bottom, on the charge. Little Ford on Ford action. The 64 of Mullins. Just behind this is Binder goes for a ride off the front of Shane P. Davis. Binder able to save it after contact with the inside retaining wall. We stay green.
Ooh.
Heartbreak for John Binder.
Let's go to the right guy here.
There we go. I believe he had help from Shane.
Oh,
No, he didn't. He
Just got
loose
loose.
right up. Seemed like that's why we always go back and look at these things from different camera angles.
Yeah, definitely. But as we're looking here, Jordan Schmeetz is putting on a clinic of how wide you can make your car.
How wide you can make your car, and it's like a double wide semi out there on the racetrack right now. He's really running a defensive line here. He's running so high up the racetrack and able to carry just enough momentum. He's making it really hard for these guys to clear him. But that line, I know he has to take a higher toll on those right side tires. Now we see Darren Mullins clear the 41. Oh, is the 83 literally slideways trying to turn down the racetrack to the bottom? That puts Barry Sanders. Oh, Sanders hits him. LeVron hits Barry Sanders back. Still green flag conditions on the racetrack. Little rock'em sock'em going on inside the top 5.
Little tap there. Sends him down the racetrack. Taps again. Oh, inside, outside.
Yep.
Woo.
Took it on
We're
both
still
sides.
green.
Is Justin Belmonte is walking away from the competition almost 5 seconds over the 64 of Darren Mullins. Belmonte has hit the afterburner here at Richmond.
Darren Mullins trying to reel him in, but that gap is just growing.
Yeah, as good of a recovery drive this has been for the 64 of Mullins, the damage to the front of the car at all. I mean, Justin Belmonte, remember, he drove from the back to the front of the field, got caught up in mayhem a couple different times, able to send this run back to the point, and the minute he dethroned Schmitz, I mean, he has just left the facility as far as I'm concerned. That lead approaching the 5.5 second mark. Maybe it's swinging back the other way just a little bit. The problem is there's less than 20 laps to go. Darren Mullins does not have enough time. Last time by, Justin Belmonte, the faster car as well, a 22:33 to a 22:40. Justin Belmonte and Darren Mullins lap times respectively.
Yeah, you can see on the screen now just how Belmonte is the faster car every lap as the 16 gets loose and goes into the inside wall.
Middle Miss continues to have trouble and continue to struggle here at Richmond. I mean, look at the lip on that race car. It is kicked up. It is pointing every which way that it should be. The front air dam punched in. And Darren Mullins continues to impress and run in second.
Now it looks like he did use that as a ram.
Hey, he's helping the sponsor. Can't blame him for that.
As he is now, he's got almost a second lead over Kyle Holden here. Kyle Holden has done a pretty good job on this recovery drive that he has. Jordan Schmitz is hanging on, hanging tough. And Shane Davis is in P5.
Exactly. Is in fifth. I mean, granted, the 43 of Gibson was literally pushing him down the backstretch there, but Shane Davis is in fifth. This doesn't make any sense. I mean, heck of a recovery drive. I mean, that is a stellar performance. Can do demeanor, never say never, never quit. That is Shane P. Davis, and you're seeing it right now. Is, 30, 40 laps ago, I would have said, forget about it. Game over. Not the case. He's in fifth, Mike.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know we've had quite a few cautions, but when you make, let's see, inside the top 5, you have the leader, Justin Belmonte, made 12 pit stops. Shane Davis made 19, and they're both doing extremely well after being involved in a couple of big incidents, especially Shane Davis there. Half his car was gone.
Exactly. And even though, structurally from our perspective, it looks okay, it's probably not driving as good as it should. I bet you his toe is knocked out a little bit. He's probably in there sweating, arms probably ready to fall off driver of that race car with 12 laps to go now, as he is in a dogfight of a lifetime with Steven Gibson Jr. And let's throw Aaron Matthews into the mix as well. He's right there knocking on the back door as well.
Yeah, you got Aaron Matthews, Kendall LeVron, and those guys are battling it out here. And we've had a few, little incidents to take out some of the faster drivers here, but regardless, they have put on a heck of a show.
Oh, they have been. And that's why I always say moonshine and bribe time. I say it for a reason, because their racing action is always next level. I want to thank everyone for tuning in again live here on SRM. You got it locked in on the right YouTube channel. Now join your eSIM eSports Racing Action Leader, SRM. If you haven't liked and subscribed, make sure you do. This way you get notified each and every time Moonshine is in action right here on SRM. Mike, as we have now clipped 10 laps to go.
Yeah, inside that 10 to go, and everybody's still kind of battling here. Jordan Schmitz is trying to hold on here to a top 5 position, but he's going to have to deal with Aaron Matthews and Shane Davis coming up pretty quickly behind him, as Steven Gibson was able to get by. I want to know where the 6 came from, really. I mean, the 6 Ford of Justin Belmonte is out to over a 7.5 second lead right now. Kind of out on a Wednesday night stroll, shall I say.
Yeah, Mike, it's almost scary to think if he didn't have the problems that he had previously in this race, ran a larger percentage of the race under green, what might be the case, or the, just the whole look of the field right now. It might be a heck of a lot different, because I mean, Belmonte is just, set the sails, fired the 50 cals, everything that you can throw at a competitor out there on the racetrack from an advantage standpoint. I mean, that's clearly what is inside that 6 right now, because he is on another planet. Almost 8 seconds. In fact, it is 8 seconds with 5 laps to go.
I mean, Darren Mullins is going to started in P2. Looks like everything goes the way it's going right now. He's going to finish P2. Heck of a drive, especially after getting turned or being turned.
Yeah, he got used and abused, and he's still right there where he started in second. A heck of a drive. I mean, if it wasn't for Justin Belmonte, I mean, Darren Mullins would absolutely get, the Drive of the Race award for sure. And there's a lot of other honorable mentions in here too as you go through the field. You mean Stephen Gibson Jr., Jordan Schmitz, who continues to hang tough on the old worn-out shoes. He's still in that 5th place position. Aaron Matthews, he's been to the front, to the back, to the front again. He's in 6th. 7th, Shane P. Davis. If you don't know, check out the highlight reel. I promise you that will explain it all. He's in 7th. 8th, Caden Norfry. He's another one. 9th, Ryan Huff. He has been in the thick of it, spun sideways, backwards into the fence. And Kendall Levron, he was the early part of the show. He started, led practice, won the pole, and had that huge mistake and able to rebound still inside the top 10. All these guys, I mean, final lap for last time by. Take us home, Mike.
Yeah, Justin Belmonte is just cruising here down the backstretch. Nobody within a straightaway of the leader here as he just cruises home and will put a bow on this dominating finish. His 9-second lead to Justin Belmonte winning the Ram Welding and Fabrication 250 at Richmond. Darren Mullins, heck of a drive for 2nd. Kyle Holden up to 3rd. Stephen Gibson 4th. Jordan Schmitz elects not to pit and brings home a top 5. Aaron Matthews as well does well. Shane Davis, huge damage early in the race, made a bunch of pit stops to get back to the top 10. Caden Norfrey, Ryan Huff, and Kendall Levron round out that top 10.
Yeah, it is. Rightfully so. Justin Belmonte burns the house down. He's going to take some grass with it. And rightfully so. What a win. What a drive at the end. And when he took the lead, there was no looking back as Justin Belmonte burns him at the small house in Richmond. On board, great looking race car, and what a drive, Mike.
Yeah, definitely a heck of a drive there for Justin Belmonte. Let's see. If we can get Kyle up here. Matt, I believe you're with our 3rd place finisher.
Kyle, Matt, and Mike up in the booth. You got us, bud.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, you're what's going on, man. You got that 59 ride onto the podium. You had one heck of a day out there. Walk us through that race.
Yeah, we got caught into some calamity there and some of the cautions, and been dealing with the right front. Just seems like it's not connected to the car, but the car has like extra rotation in it all night after the damage we got. Kind of helped getting through the corners, but getting off the corners was really tricky. We just kind of try to keep it easy and use as least amount of tires as we possibly can, just to have just a couple sets ready if we needed them. But we came home in third here. We just took it easy after those cautions, and somehow we were just able to pull through a lot of guys.
Definitely speaks about, I mean, the can-do demeanor and just the never die, never quit attitude about you as a race car driver. I know you said you calmed it down and tried to take it easy, but I mean, you really had to thread the needle. I mean, you were in a big hornet's nest there for a long time.
Yeah, I was just kind of riding and see what was going to happen and try to wait for like a mistake or someone to get punted up a little bit, and happened a couple times, but it was hard to put yourself there in that position to not kind of try to get someone else in the position they don't want to be in. Luckily, there was just some weird like checkups and stuff that allowed us to get through some of those weird bunch ups there, but I think we had a fast car tonight. I think we would have had if we had not gotten any damage, we would have had a shot at the win there. But we took home thirds, and that's good enough for us. If you're still there, I can't hear you.
Looks like Matt might have had an issue there, but heck of a drive. He went, forward and backward a few times there. Got involved in a little bit of calamity. But who do you have to thank here for your P3 finish?
Huge thanks to Team Watson, Kenny, all the time he puts in these setups and makes them feel great and allows us to do what we do every week. And huge shout out to Martin Sports for being on the car this week. Made a real sick paint job for them. Go check them out for all your apparel needs. And just thanks to you guys in the booth, man. Love watching these races.
Definitely. All right. Well, we'll talk to you later.
Appreciate it.
Yep. All right. That was your P3 finisher. Let's see if we can get P2 up here. Darren, Mike up in the booth. How's it going, man?
It's going good. How are you?
Well, not too bad. Well, you were doing pretty well running up front until a little calamity came and struck you, but you had a heck of a recovery drive to finish P2.
Yeah, when Randy got into me a little bit there, it set us back a little bit, but I didn't have a lot of damage to the car, so we was able to get that fixed. And the car had pace all night. I feel like the 6 car taking them tires is what got him out front, but it ran good all night. I was happy with it.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it. I mean, you were kind of back in the field for a little bit, but didn't take you too long to work your way back through the field. And it looked like that 64 was pretty racy most of the night.
Yeah, it was pretty fast all night. Only had one little issue. It was a little free off. But other than that, it was pretty quick. I was happy with the car all night.
Definitely. So as we wrap this up, anybody you want to thank for your second place finish here tonight?
Yeah, big shout out to Ram Welding Fabrication. I got to appreciate their sponsorship. So thank them and all the league sponsors. Definitely got to thank their support as well.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats on your P2 finish, and maybe we'll talk to you again next week.
All right, man. Thanks, guys.
Yep, later. All right. We will see if we can get our race winner up in the booth here. Hey, Justin, Mike up in the booth. How's it going, man?
Oh, what's up, dude? How's it going? I'm glad I got to talk to you guys again.
Yeah, definitely, man. That was
Heck yeah.
I'll say it's surprising, but
Dude, surprising. I got my ass kicked tonight, and somehow I ended up on top. If you would have told me stage 1, stage 2, or stage 3 that I was even going to be in the top 5, I would have called you crazy.
well, I think that's pretty much what Matt and I were talking about as we see you just drive away from the field. You made 12 pit stops. Got apparently, I don't know what they put on it when you were in there, but whatever it was, I mean, You wound up winning by 9 seconds, and that is just unheard of here at Richmond.
I fixed over 5 minutes of damage throughout the whole race, and I got super lucky. I had to pit. I slid the tires one of those last crashes. I forget which one. And I was kind of in the back of the lead lap, so I was like, screw it. I'll just go take some tires. And those tires, they paid off.
Yeah, definitely looked like it did, as you were able to just pass everybody almost like they were standing still. So how was it actually, racing your way through the field? Because you had to do it several times there, but how did that treat you?
It was pretty tough. It was tough when we had long green flag runs, just because the tires kind of wore out. It was hard to pass no matter where you were on the track. And I drove up to 5th, I think, twice. And then luckily, good and bad, we had a ton of cautions. I was involved in a few, but then a few of them broke my way, and I was able to chip away.
Yeah, definitely were. So as you celebrate your win here, anybody you want to thank before we let you go there, Justin?
Team Watson setups, they hooked this car up. Kenny hooked it up. I didn't get to run hardly. I don't think I ran any officials last week, and I ran a couple laps of practice, so big props to them because I had nothing. So big props to them. Big props to you guys in the league for putting it on, and we appreciate you guys.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats on your win. Go celebrate, and we'll maybe talk to you again next week.
Thank you, guys. See you later.
Yep, later. Well, Matt, that will begin to wrap it up here from Richmond. What did you think of the race?
It was everything I thought it was going to be, and that stuff. We had the drama, we had the high octane, we had the high impacts. We thought it looked like Talladega out there at times. And then that late, I don't know what you want to call that, just the afterburner and the Jedi strategery of Justin Belmonte at the end that just blanked the competition. As you said, Mike drove out to over a 9-second lead, which is unheard of at Richmond. It goes with the theme. We've seen a lot of things here tonight at Richmond that aren't supposed to happen at Richmond, and it was fantastic. So happy for Justin Belmonte, Darren Mullins, and Kyle Holden, being able to speak with them. This was a wild one, but everything we thought it would be.
It definitely was. So we'll take a look here at the race results. Justin Belmonte, your race winner. Darren Mullins up in second. Kyle Holden hanging on for third. Steven Gibson and Jordan Schmeets round out the top 5. Aaron Matthews, Shane Davis, Hayden Norfrey, Ryan Huff, and Kendall Levron round out that top 10. Nick King, Barry Sanders Jr., and John Binder. Sanders and Binder were up front, and then their car kind of ran away from them there towards the end of the race, but still finished inside that top 15. Chris Spear, Matt Mackin round out that top 15.
For the finishing order here this evening, in 16th tonight, 1 lap off the pace. That belongs to the 24 of Nicholas Atwood. 17th belongs to the 45 of David Baldessari. Coming home 18th to 42 of Warren Young. 19th belongs to the 16 of Jamison Middlemiss, who is plagued by, I believe, suspension issues throughout much of the race tonight. Rounding out your top 20, the 54 of Randy Mullins, who was electrifying until contact with his counterpart at the front of the field late. 22nd, that belongs to Paul Whitley. 23rd, Darren Mills in the 2. 24th, Ed Broyles Jr. in the 38. Running out your top 25, that's the 3 of Hunter Carmichael. 26th, that's going to be Kenny Capola. Bobby Justice comes home 27th. 28th belongs to the 005, like 007, but it's 005, Brandon Crossan. 29th, that's going to be David Sinti. Barry Stevens, that's going to round out your top 30. And Paul Gillimore rounds out the top 31 starters here tonight. As Tim Wortman Jr. did not compete, he had the one and only, as you mentioned, Mike, Kendall Levrod, impress us and did a darn good job in that race car here tonight in Richmond.
Yeah, it definitely did. And this was the first race I had the opportunity to call of the Moonshiners Racing. They put on a heck of a show. If you guys want to see them again, go ahead and hit that like, subscribe button, and we'll be back next Wednesday as well. Hopefully, the man, the myth, the legend, Tony Trapasso will be back up here in the booth. But if not, they're still going to be here putting on a heck of a show from everybody here at the Moonshiners Racing League and all of us at SRM Racing Media. We'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.